a second. But first, we have Tuesday Night Football in Music City. Let's get into it. All right, the Titans are back in action after having 24 players and coaches placed on COVID list since September 24th. 16 days since the Titans' last game, which was Week 3 versus the Vikings. Josh Allen, getting out there, trying to get his team going. First quarter, no score. Allen looking for Andre Roberts, but he is picked.
That's not his fault.
Instead. Listen, it happens, but not a great way to start, guys.
His fault?
Yes or not?
It hit him in the chest.
That's the receiver's fault, is what I'm saying.
Take it one more time.
That's the
He
receiver's
went
fault.
29 yards for that return, fellas. All right, ensuing Titans drive, second and 10. Woo! Look at that. Tannehill to A.J. Brown. That's what you were looking for.
MJ, I told you I needed 5 points.
That's what you were looking for, wasn't it?
He gave me about 20.
Yep. Well, you got it. Right on that
Josh
one.
Norman got a couple shades darker tonight, guys.
What was that, Emrod? Yes, that's what I thought. Two plays later,
Josh Norman got a couple shades darker tonight. Toasted.
There we go. Straight through the tunnel there. Listen, this was not the greatest outing for Josh Allen, but they were trying to get it together. And the man, the bully, if you will, Derrick Henry. I mean, this man was just out there making people look crazy.
MJ,
but he runs it in.
This is the problem. Nobody wants to tackle him
Here's the next Titans
one-on-one.
drive. Titans leading 14-10 here. 2nd and 4. Derrick Henry.
Get out the club.
That changed the whole dynamic of the game. That right there.
Entirely. It was like a rag doll. He has a family. Derrick Henry.
That is a grown man out
That's
there.
a grown man.
Man,
That's not
I don't know
cool.
who 29 is, but 22 a grown man.
Listen,
And you don't play
Twitter
with
was
grown
going
men outside
crazy
the
after
streets.
this.
Oh,
That type of
my
stiff arming, that
goodness.
type of
That's Josh
just throwing
Norman.
people around, that's not okay.
That's
This is
Josh
later
Norman.
in the second quarter. Ryan Tannehill looking downfield, but decides to take it in
MJ.
himself. I'm going to need you to chill out on that Enzo, though. Find your feet. But he did get the touchdown.
he almost
Tannehill,
found
10
something
yards
else.
there for the score, extending their lead 21
You're
to
gonna be
10
in the
for the
training
Titans,
room.
capping off a 90-yard drive going into the half. Celebratory there for Tannehill and the Titans. We're going to the third quarter. Bills trail 21 to 10 and have a 2nd and 4 from the Titans 33. Josh Allen looking for Gabriel Davis. Another pick. Malcolm Butler, again, who escapes a couple of defenders, stays on his feet and takes it 68 yards all the way down to the Bills' 12-yard line.
Malcolm Butler played running back in Pop Warner. Guarantee you that.
Control. Without
Youth
question.
football. You saw the way he put his hand down? They only do that in Pop Warner.
He was feeling himself as he should be in that morning. Boop, it was perfect. Nailed it. These are the types of things when you're already down and you're trying to come back, and the guys on the show spent an hour hyping you up. Josh Allen,
Hey,
then
listen.
that happens. Ensuing Titans drive. Here comes Tannehill. He finds Janu Smith. 4-yard touchdown there. Extends the Titans lead 28-10.
This type of
Tannehill
game
was
is like,
rolling.
hey, the Titans have your number. You just go back to your cover 2. Stop trying to game plan and get on out of here.
Here we go. Fourth quarter. Bills trail 28-10. 2nd and 10. Josh Allen, plenty of time in the pocket. Eternity in the pocket at this point. Looking for T.J. Yeldon in the end zone. A 22-yard touchdown. Bills still trail, though, 28-16. Ensuing Titans drive 3rd and 2 from the Bills' 9. Derrick Henry. They were looking for the first down, but he said, nah, I got y'all. Don't worry. 9-yard touchdown. Titans led 35-16. Y'all know the rest of that 40 burger for the Titans. 42-16 the final. Ryan Tannehill, 21 of 28, 195 yards and 3 touchdowns, 1 on the ground by him as well. I mean, just out of control game for the Titans. I feel like they trolled everybody watching tonight. Guys, let's just jump right into this because we were having discussions all night long trying to keep up with this one. Now, we spoke for an hour about Bills Mafia, Josh Allen. The Titans went out there and showed out right from the gate. MJD, I'm going to start with you. What did you think watching this unfold?
Well, this reminds me of the famous quote from Allen Iverson that said, practice?
Practice.
Practice? Are
It's not even a game.
This is not even a game. We got to practice? The Tennessee Titans barely practiced walkthrough, but they were fresh. And that's what you saw coming out there. Derrick Henry was fresh. And they capitalized on turnovers. And so at the end of the day, we all know this, guys. Let's just be honest. If you lose a turnover battle, guess what? You're going to lose the game. Derrick Henry here, no one wants to tackle this man in the fourth quarter. And that's just kind of the game they wanted to play. The Titans came out, they were fresh, they were focused, and they made the plays that mattered most.
I mean, how do you tackle him, though?
Oh, you got to go for them legs. Just tackle them legs, dive.
Well, that's tough too, MJD. You know, cats can get hurt trying to tackle that big man down low. But at the end of the day, you guys, you know, I'm president of Bills Mafia. I'm gonna take this one on the chin, of course, because I picked them. I hyped these guys all up pregame. But at the end of the day, I'm so surprised at how physical the Tennessee Titans were. You guys spoke about it, that they didn't get a chance to get on the practice field, didn't get a chance to get into the facility, yet they out-physicaled the Buffalo Bills. And then when you look at Josh Allen, I thought, you know, obviously this pass right here was not his fault. It was on the receiver to be able to catch the football. But I did think that he started to revert back to some of his old ways. Started forcing the ball a little bit too much to Stephon Diggs at times. Started just throwing the ball, you know, in the tight spots where it shouldn't be thrown into. And like Sean said a little bit earlier, you know, blitzes, guys wide open. You know, you got to have a little bit of a sense of where the pressure's coming from and not just think that you're just this big, strong guy that's just going to take every hit and still throw the ball down the football field. But, I know Sean McDermott is going to have a big message for this team after this game and going on the rest of the week because, they got punched in the mouth. I looked at the line of scrimmage. They got beat up at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football.
Sean O'Hara, very observant tonight.
Yeah, look, MJ, I mean, the Titans, look, they stole the beach cruiser from the Bills, and they were definitely the more physical team. And, Rob, you just hit the nail on the head. That stiff arm by Derrick Henry on Josh Norman was a metaphor for the entire night. That's basically what they did to him, straight Debo. Now, look, the Bills will be fine. They'll recover. I don't know if Josh Norman will, but the Bills will be fine. Now, it was a tough night for both Joshes, not just Josh Norman, but Josh Allen. Look, coming into this game, he had thrown for 12 touchdowns and just 1 interception. So those turnovers were costly. The Titans did a great job of turning those turnovers, those interceptions into touchdowns, ended up being the difference in the game. The Titans, you don't want to play the Titans with a lead. All right, when they have a lead and they can lean on Derrick Henry, they're one of the toughest teams in the league. So I thought they were definitely more physical. I expected more rust because they hadn't played in so long, but that was not the case. And for the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, look, Ryan Tannehill did to them what Josh Allen had been doing to everybody else. Great precision passing, deep balls, and running with the football. Ryan Tannehill, I mean, he looked every bit the part that Josh Allen had looked through the first 4 weeks.
And let's also talk about that, though, the 2 weeks they didn't play, you got A.J. Brown back, who looked magnificent out there. I mean, he was beating up on Josh Norman and whoever else wanted to come. A.J.
Josh
Brown?
Norman,
yeah,
bro. Josh Norman was covering them.
But a lot of other people were, too. He was running
Josh
wide
Norman
open.
ain't had it since he got paid.
I get you, but A.J. Brown, not even for fantasy purposes, to all the people out there, he is the number 1 receiver in the National Football League. And as long as he's out there, Ryan Tannehill has a guy that he can lean on whenever he gets in trouble. And we saw that tonight. I mean, here we go. He wide open. Who covered him here?
Nobody.
He's wide open.
Nobody.
That was a bootleg.
Yeah, we're going to see other plays. I mean, granted, Josh Norman was getting a lot of this work. Here you go, little Josh Norman work. You know.
Yes.
They found, I guess, in the offensive room, guys, they talk about finding Waldo. And it seemed like Josh Norman was that guy they wanted to attack tonight, and they got what they wanted. Here, again, off the turnover, you come right back with a double move into a touchdown. That's how you start the game.
MJD, let me tell you something, bro. There were a few injuries tonight that literally, you don't think a few guys cost people the game, but you talk about John Brown on the offensive side of the ball for the Buffalo Bills, being able to stretch the field vertically and open things up for Stephon Diggs, open things up for that run game in Devin Singletary. And then you talk about the starting cornerbacks on the defensive side of the football. I mean, really, I'm not taking anything away from A.J. Brown. I think A.J. Brown is a phenomenal receiver. But at the end of the day, the starting cornerbacks, your 1 and 2 top cover guys, are not playing. There are going to be some repercussions.
No question.
No doubt. Look, the players should get a lot of credit for the way they came out, the Tennessee Titans players, and got this victory. But I think the coaching staff for the Tennessee Titans, Mike Vrabel especially, he should get a big applause for what he did, all of the different changes. Think about the hoops that they've had to jump through, the circus that it's been for them for the last 2 weeks. They were struggling to get after the quarterback, and they struggled defensively in the passing game prior to this game, and they rectified all of those issues basically via Zoom. I mean, this is 2020 is upside down for all kinds of reasons. But credit to Mike Vrabel and his coaching staff for what they were able to do.
And listen, guys, before this game, Brian Tannehill saying, nah, these Zoom meetings have been better than in the meeting room, which is what every QB has to say. I guess he proved that they were right. We are officially on to week 6 now. That starts with the Jets releasing Le'Veon Bell earlier tonight. The Jets released this statement in part saying from General Manager Joe Douglas that after conversations with Lev Bell and his agent exploring potential trade options over the past couple of weeks, we have made the decision to release him. They went on to wish him best of luck and appreciated everything he did there. Lev Bell also taking to Twitter, very simple message. Got a lot to prove. I'm ready to go. All right, guys. We were in the middle of the game when all of this broke. So, I mean, I'm going to start with MJD here. What was your reaction when you got that alert on your phone?
Well, I just started getting texts from coaches and other people in the personnel departments around the league, right? Everyone's trying to figure out what was the deal, what was going on. I personally don't know what happened in New York. I do know this. A lot of people, sometimes you just don't mix, right? Like personalities just don't mix sometimes. And this just didn't work out for Le'Veon Bell and the New York Jets, but there are a lot of teams, from my understanding, that are looking at him. I'm not going to name any names. I've never been a snitch, but I think he has a lot of suitors out there that, especially with the contract being taken care of from the New York Jets, he'll have some suitors out there, some contenders that'll be looking for him.
MJD, I think he will have some suitors. I mean, look, we're talking about a former All-Pro running back. We used to consider him one of the top running backs in the National Football League, and I agree with you. It probably just wasn't a great fit with the New York Jets. But I think when you talk about a fit with a team, I think it has to be a team that has an offensive line, a real offensive line, man, because just his style of running. Like, I even thought when he decided to leave Pittsburgh that was he thinking about that? Like, yeah, I know he wanted to get paid. Okay, you got your $28 million for 18 games. Okay, you got your bread now. But are you really thinking about the success, your on-the-field success and the schemes and the personnel along the offensive line? Because I look at the way that offensive line was blocking when he was in Pittsburgh. And just the way that they used to get to the second level, and it literally gelled with his type of running style because he is that patient guy and really has tempo to the line of scrimmage. I just don't know if he made the right decision in the free agency process to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Just for me, I probably would have gave Pittsburgh a little bit more benefit of the doubt.
This is a tough one, and really, I mean, if you want to sum it up, and if you're a Jets fan right now, buy Felicia. Look, they paid Le'Veon Bell a ton of money, and he did nothing. Now, it wasn't all his fault. To Mike Rob, to your point, this offensive line struggled. He was never a good fit in this offense anyways. But still, the problem with Le'Veon Bell has also been the detraction that he does for the team off the field. Look, either you're a team player or you're not. This is not fantasy football when you're inside a locker room. Fantasy football is for the fans and for everybody else out there that wants to be a part of Sundays and Monday nights. But if you're a football player, man, it's about the team. And that's the problem that Le'Veon Bell is going to be faced with right now. Because everybody that's calling and finding out, hey, what's going on with this? Yeah, he's a talented player, but what's that going to do to our locker room right now? If we bring a guy like that in there.
What did he do?
The Pittsburgh Steelers were a tight locker room.
What did he do in the locker room, though? That's my
He's selfish,
concern.
man. What are you talking about? What did he do?
What do you mean,
what did he do? He's selfish. He cares about himself. After a loss, he's talking about, man, I don't like the way they used me. I didn't get enough carries. I didn't get enough of this. Look, stop. You don't hash it out in the social media. You don't hash stuff out on Twitter. That's not how it's done. You know this, MJD.
I think we don't do that. But we've seen a lot of players hash it out on social media. That's what the new guys do. This is what I will say.
And it's not right.
Regardless of how people feel, the New York Jets have let go of 2 talented players. I don't care what you're talking about, and I want to talk to America here. You will never win a game without talented players in this league. I don't care about culture or anything. And, Sean, you could talk about this with your Giants team. You had talented players. You won 2 Super Bowls with talented players. Imrob, you had talented players on your roster.